There was a feeling of a renaissance about to happen in Indian theatre, at least in the languages of the central India and western India. There was Girish Karnad, as you mentioned. There was Vijay Tendulkar. There was Mohan Rakesh. There was Badal Sarkar. There was Adi Rangacharya. There was several great playwrights who, unfortunately, all either faded away or passed away within a couple of decades, and they did not leave any successors. And that's what I feel a sense of loss about. That Girish Karnad, great as he was, and who is perhaps written, Tendulkar and Girish have perhaps written the two most wonderful plays ever written in India. Is when Hardy came to meet Gulzar, and Gulzar told him that these are the words of the song. So R.D. sat there with a very quizzical look on his face, and he said, "अब अगली फिल्म में तुम ऐसा गाना लिख दो कि मेरे लिए आलू टमाटर और आलू और गोभी और प्याज भी ले आना." But it turned out, as you all know, he composed it very beautifully. Anyway, that's by way of introduction.
Thank you. All right, so I would like to start with, and it was something that we'd also discussed earlier. This is your second time in Shillong, I believe, and your first time here was when you were shooting Ek Pal way back in 1986. Was there anything about Shillong that stayed in your memory? Is there anything that you remember of that time?
Apart from the fact that I thought it was an extremely beautiful place, I don't remember much, because when one goes to shoot in a particular place, you don't have the time to really absorb the place itself, and you don't have the time to make friends or to go around and look at it. So all I knew was that it's a very beautiful place, and I wanted to come back. And the fact that it was beautiful didn't surprise me, because when I was in school, I had I won't call her a girlfriend, I call her a pen friend, to follow up the wonderful work that these people did. But for me, as a beginner in the 70s, because I joined the National School of Drama in 70 when I was 20 years old, I was very unfamiliar with Indian dramatic literature. I studied in an English language school in Nainital, and then I did an English graduation from Aligarh University, and I was completely under the impression that the only great plays written were those written in English. And so I was in for a big surprise when I went to the drama school, and I was introduced not only to so many contemporary Indian playwrights, many of whom I hadn't even heard of, and who were writing such wonderful stuff, but also to several other playwrights apart from William Shakespeare and George Bernard Shaw, who till then I thought were the only playwrights in the world.
Yes, you do. I have your memoir here, which is absolutely amazing, and you do in fact talk a lot about how Shakespeare and also Shaw played from earlier on in your life, as your school life, where you were so inspired by their writings, by their works.
Yeah, and as far as Shakespeare is concerned, I was more inspired by seeing him performed. Shakespeare has been done a terrible disservice to by the teachers who teach Shakespeare. Shakespeare in the classroom is a terrible bore, as everybody here will agree, I'm certain.
Yes.
Yeah, but it was magical to see him on the stage, and for that there was a gentleman called Geoffrey Kendall who was responsible for introducing me to the magic of Shakespeare. Because he had this troupe called Shakespeareana. He was 100% British, but had continued this very long love affair with India right from the time he was posted here during World War II as an entertainer for the troops, and fell completely in love with the country, and decided to spend the rest of his life doing Shakespeare to those who needed it most of all, and that is the students in Asia. Not just India, he also went to several countries in Asia. There was Singapore, there was Malaysia, there was Pakistan, Sri Lanka, what is now Bangladesh, and so on. He performed in all these countries to school children. Never did a commercial performance, never charged absurd amounts of money for the tickets. In fact, we remember we never had to pay anything to watch this wondrous group present the same plays which would put us to sleep in class, but which were transformed into absolute magic when they appeared on stage. And that is where I learned that plays are written to be performed, not to be read, really. And that is really the problem with the way Shakespeare is taught.
I absolutely agree. Just to